Sometimes, y'all, sometimes even after 40 years of working on cars, or working on anything for that matter, automotive stuff mainly, you'd think you'd seen most of everything. And then you'd also think that the technology gets better to where either they have less issues, or if you have issues with it, it would alert you a little bit better as to what's going on. Such is not the case with my subject for today. Welcome back to the channel. It's been a hot minute since I've made a video. Life's been super busy. Traveling overseas for work, the day job, a couple of times. That was an experience. Ball season, travel ball season for my daughter's softball team. Of course, we're playing tournaments all the time. And of course, our beloved weather, which I think this is the first time in several days that it's not raining. It poured earlier today. But anyway, I wanted to do this video because of an issue that with this truck that has, it has had me stumped. Like, I have been chasing this issue for a good hot minute. And now that I think I finally honed in on what the issue is, if there's only one, because that's still a question mark, is if there's only one issue. Now that I think I've honed in on it and I've got a part, we're going to see if this actually works. But I'm going to take you through this because as long as I've been working on cars in the late 90s when they came out with these individual coil on plug designs, it's a great idea. But these things are notorious for sending you down a rabbit hole or a rabbit's nest or a foxhole. I don't know, sending you down something that's not preferable, chasing issues with these things. Now, many years ago, when I first started having these issues, like on the 99 Mustang, I think, or the Crown Vics and stuff like that, when they first got them on the 4.6 liter engines, I did figure out a way to more or less somewhat accurately, not kind of, figure out which one of the coils is going bad. That knowledge has served me well even today. So that was 20 years ago. 25 years ago. 25 years ago, starting with these things. Anyway, a little backstory on this. This is my neighbor, the guy that owns a camper. This is my neighbor's 2012 Ford F150 FX2 3.5 liter EcoBoost. Now, this thing's got almost 296,000 miles on it. Other than this issue that I'm dealing with here, it runs phenomenal. It's literally just in the last maybe year or so started getting that little timing chain rattle when you first start it up. If you let it sit for a while. If you drive it every day, you don't hear it. But it did have some intermittent stuff with the transmission here recently, which seems to have sort of fixed itself. And but other than this issue, this thing has been spot on fantastic. Runs great, no issues with it, drives awesome. It's worth putting the money into to keep messing with it. As a sidebar here, I'm wearing the purple and gold as a little commemorative for our LSU baseball Tigers, who made it to Omaha and won their first game, the season opener, or the tournament opener last night. So go Tigers, or as Coach Ogeron would always say, Coach O, go Tigers. All right, let me know if you think that's a good impression. Anyway, so the issue that we're having with this thing is the random misfire. Okay, now again, another piece of transparency. A couple of months ago, that's probably like 4 months ago, something like that. We had an issue with the random misfire on it. Figured out it had a weak coil, and they were the original coils too. 296,000 miles on the coils. So instead of just replacing one, we replaced all six. I say we, me. He bought the parts. Replaced all 6 coils, all 6 plugs. Now, he bought them off Amazon, and they do say, and I'll show you when I pull them out, but they do say FOMOCO, Ford Motor Company, on the front. But unlike the Motorcraft ones, which is what I'm holding right here, they don't have a part number on the side of them. So are they really Ford Motor Company? Who knows? I don't know for sure. But they ran great up until a couple of weeks ago. Started having a random misfire. So the issue, though, is that we'd have one hole that would intermittently misfire. It was fine. Didn't really worry too much about it. Then it got to where it was running super poor. Like, I mean, it was multiple misfires on the cylinders. But it wouldn't do it all the time, of course, because these things rarely ever just die. Okay? They rarely just die. They will give you, they'll wreak havoc on you. They'll have symptoms under certain conditions and not have symptoms under other conditions. But these things, great design, but or great concept, but yeah, like I said earlier, be nice if they had a little more intuition or intelligence on what's going on with these things. Anyway, so I did the standard process. I went through it, pulled it up in ForeScan, which I'll show you. We're going to run through all of that too, because I'm going to take you through the whole diagnostic and everything. I pulled a ForeScan, looked at the codes. It was one of the cylinders. I don't remember which one it was. Cylinder 6, maybe, something like that. And this one is actually, unlike Chevrolets and some of the other ones where it's, you know, the cylinders bounce back and forth, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 1, 2, 3 on the passenger side, 4, 5, 6 on the driver's side. So, where was I? Oh, yes. So, first thing you always do, hey, if it's a coil, you take the coil out of the cylinder that's misfiring, put it in a different one, reset the codes, go drive it, make it misfire, and see if the code follows the coil. It did once or twice, but other times it didn't. And this is where it started to get a little tricky. I would say, just as a hypothetical, cylinder 6, I move it to cylinder 3, and maybe the code would go to cylinder 3. Fantastic, we found the coil. Then, while I'm doing some other troubleshooting, clear the codes, go drive it again, come back after misfiring. Now I've got 4 and 5 misfiring, or 4 and 2 misfiring, and not 6 or 3. Doesn't make any sense. So then I swap 4 over to, say, number 1. So now 1 and 4 swapped, and 6 and 3 are swapped. Clear the codes, go drive it, come back. Oh, look, number 3 is acting up again. Oh, look, now number 5 is acting up. Whatever. It kept jumping around. Sometimes it was more than one cylinder. Sometimes it wasn't. So fast forward to trying to do a cylinder test, watching the oscilloscope, and I'm going to show you this too. And I know it's kind of a long intro, but I'm trying to give you some backstory on what the heck happened with this thing. Watching the oscilloscope is the only way I could figure out, okay, I got a bad cylinder. It was number 5, ultimately, was the plug that was giving me trouble. Number 5. Moved it to a different cylinder, watched the oscilloscope, single cylinder misfire. It's number whatever one I moved it to. Good. So then I bought another coil, a Motorcraft coil from AutoZone down the road. And that one actually has the part number on it. I am holding said coil. Pop this guy in, start it up, runs like absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. I'm going to show you this. Couldn't figure it out. So, swap the coil out, put the old coil back in. Now it's running on one cylinder, or it's misfiring on one cylinder. Whereas with this guy, it was misfiring on multiple cylinders. Couldn't even accelerate the engine in neutral. That's how bad it was running. Pull it back out, pop the other one in, running misfire on one cylinder. Put this guy back in, flat lines practically. Can't even hardly run. Can't understand what the hell's going on. So today, I'm going to take you through, like I said, I know this is kind of a long intro, but I'm going to take you through what all I did. I'm going to show you the running condition. I'm going to pop this guy in. Now that I'm recording, it's probably not going to do what it's been doing, but I'll take you through all the troubleshooting I did, show you some other stuff. And the reason why this video will be, other than hopefully it's somewhat entertaining, but this is honestly the best way that I have found over the years to troubleshoot coil on plug. And there's a few different methods, and I'm going to show you. So let's get this thing fired up, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Right now, I have the 6 new coils, the ones that I replaced in there the other day, a couple of months ago. We're going to fire it up, see how it runs, and and then we're going to swap this guy in and see what happens. So stand by, don't go anywhere, and I'll be right back. Okay, so it is check engine lights off, ironically. I may have cleared it last time I was doing it, but it is, when I rev it up right now, it is on all of them, but if I put it in gear and brake stall it, yeah, it's stumbling. There it goes. Dead hole. This actually feels like the more than one situation. There it goes. Does good for building boost though when you're sitting there. So let's take a look at this guy here. So here's how I was troubleshooting this in 4Scan. So of course we want to connect. Got the saved vehicle in here. And we're going to read some codes first. See, let's see. Right now it's showing cylinder 4 misfire, which is correct because that's the cylinder I actually put the bad coil back into. So that's actually correct. And there's 316, which is misfire detected on startup. And then fuel level sensor. That's another problem that this thing has. Ironically, this issue started happening literally like a week or two after that fuel level sender started acting up. But the two should not be related. So here we go. So in the dashboard here, I've got the cylinder acceleration. Cylinder 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's measuring the acceleration every time the cylinder fires. It's measuring the acceleration of the crankshaft based on that ignition. So these things should be right around 0 when we're actually, I don't have the logging going right now, but they should be around 0. We got short-term fuel trim number 2. This is one of the immediate fuel trims. Short-term fuel trim number 1. Long-term fuel trim for both 1 and 2. Fuel rail pressure, because I initially thought this might be a fuel issue. Fuel rail pressure, what the actual is, what the desired is. O2 current. Now this isn't like a standard O2 sensor where you can measure the swing from 0 to 1. I believe these are actually wideband O2 sensors in here, so it's a little bit different on this. But I do watch them to see if there's any kind of major fluctuation in one versus the other. And then, of course, I thought we had a vacuum leak at first as well, so we had map pressure. So we get the logging started, and right now cylinder 4 should be the one that shows -1 most of the time. It's bouncing up and down. Short-term fuel trim on number 2. Every time it misfires, it starts, and right now it just settled out. So the fuel trims are fairly close. Right now we're operating on all 6 cylinders. Oh, there it goes. It just started missing again. You can see that cylinder 1. So now what we're looking at in here, this is the oscilloscope. So these first 6 are the power swing of the cylinders under acceleration. Right now all 6 are operating smoothly. So the lines, as you can see over here, are relatively smooth. 1, 2, 3, 4. When we see a misfire, though, this one's a little bit more wonky. But for the most part, they're fairly smooth. Now, when I put it in gear and we start misfiring, there it is. Every time it misfires, you get this. And that's how I was able to determine which cylinder it was. Right now it's working. Put a little more power into it. And it's popping out. There it goes. Flat lines, comes back up. So that is how you can use 4Scan to actually figure this out. Okay, now right now it's idling on all 6. Nice and smooth. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that other coil in, the one that I know is bad, the new one that I know is bad that I bought. I'm going to pop that in there and we're going to see what happens. So stand by with me. Don't go anywhere. This will get interesting if it works. Hey y'all, one more thing I wanted to show you before This is the first way that you can test the coils. This is the arc test, right? I'm going to start the engine up, and hopefully you can hear this on the video, but basically I'm going to pull each one of the coils while it's running and make it arc out on the plug, and you can hear it. A good coil will have a nice strong pop, 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 pop. The weak coil will not. So let's see if it actually does it this time. So let me start this thing up, and hopefully you can hear it. All right. Here we go. Got me up on the front of this thing. Cylinder number 1. Let's see if we can hear the arc. You hear that? Top, 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 top. That's a good one. Cylinder, hey, stay in there. Cylinder number 2. Come out of there. There's the talking. Good strong one. Cylinder 3. I can hear it. There it goes. It's hard to get that one on top of the plug properly. All right. Cylinder 4. Now this is the one that's the junk guy. Can't hear nothing. If I put it on, it does fire. But the minute I lift it off, the engine's misfiring. I don't hear anything. Cylinder number 5. I can hear it. You may not hear it in the video, but I can hear it. It's clicking. It sounds like a, if you don't make it actually pop, 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 it almost kind of sounds like a fuel injector. There's that one, number 6. Number 5, this is why I think I may have more than one coil that's kind of weak. This one I can hear it, but it's not thocking like the others. This one, I can't hear it at all. So that's how we landed on that coil being bad. So we got the oscilloscope test, and then we've got the arcing test. So now, let me get that other coil. I'm going to go ahead and change it while I got you guys in here. So now this coil is bad. Let's see if I can kneel down on the front of this truck here. There we go. Oh, yeah. So we're going to pull this guy. We're going to pull number 4 is unplugged. Coil's out. Pop this bad coil in. Plug it in. And immediately this thing starts running like crud. Now, interestingly enough, this coil is bad, and I'll show you how I figured that out too. But it is, now it's missing on 2 cylinders. You probably can feel the vibration or hear it. But this thing arcs super hot. But man, does it screw up the engine running. So anyway, if I try to accelerate the engine on the inside, it don't want to run. So we'll pop this guy out, pop this guy back in. This is the original bad coil. Sometimes if I don't do this fast enough, the computer will actually shut the cylinder off. I got to shut it off and start it back up to bring it back in. Yeah, I don't think it's going to bring this one back online. All right, we are back in the truck. Let's get this thing connected again. Come down here, connect. Yep, that's the one we want. Let it connect. Now I did go through and clear out the trouble codes. So let's take a look before we even start if there's anything. No trouble codes. All right. So now, going back to the oscilloscope. Everything's flat right now. Let's fire it up, see what happens. Terrible. Wow. It's running even worse than it was before. Look at that. We've got cylinder 5. All right, let's see what happens. Cylinder 5 dipping out. Cylinder 5 is dead right now, which actually has one of the good coils in it. But it is flat. Look at this. This guy's crapping out. Okay, so what we're seeing here is actually a function of the crosstalk or interference from mismatched coils. Now, I'll explain in a minute what that means, but I'm going to try popping. Well, no, I know that other coil's bad. So let's pull out that one that I just bought, retest it, and see if now it shows the same thing. Look at this. I just got a flat hole right there. Cylinder 5 is dead. So let me go jiggle this thing real quick and see. Just to make sure the plug didn't come loose. Cylinder 5. That's this guy right here. I got nothing. I wonder if the engine, I wonder if the PCM might have turned it off. This is the new coil. Pop, 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 pop. Yeah, it feels like it shut that one off. Let's restart it and see what happens. Let's see something here real quick. Cylinder 1, -1. Yeah, it is dead. All right, cylinder 5 is back in. Let's go see if we actually have a pop on 5. I don't have anything on 5. So here, I just swapped this guy and this guy. Get in there. I hear it. Remember I told you I heard one, but it sounded kind of weak? Unbelievable. Okay, so this is actually firing now. Really, really strange. Sorry about the finger in front of the camera. I can hear it. It's weak, but I can hear it. Remember I told you I thought we had more than one coil that's bad. I think we got more than one coil that's bad. Interesting. I'm going to go get that other one just to see. Stand by with me 1 second. All right, so now I've done a few tests, and clearly these Motorcraft coils do not want to work well with these, what I'm going to call knockoff Ford Motor Company coils that came from Amazon. I swap in that second Motorcraft coil, the engine lines go haywire. Okay, I tried putting both of the Motorcraft coils in, and it made it even worse. Like, I mean, this thing was popping, making all kind of noise, everything like that. Now I've got all 6 of the original coils back in, and they're all firing right now. Of course, if I rev it up, I get that the bad coil's in number 4 now. You can see it dipping out. So what I think is happening, well, I'll tell you in a minute, but here we go. I'll stall this thing up, and there we go, in gear. Yep, cylinder 4 is popping out now. All right. Yeah, I think I know what needs to happen next. But my fuel trims and everything are showing right. Fuel rail pressure has been the way it's supposed to be. These 2 lines should stay relatively consistent. If you see a major spike in one or the other, or a dip in one and not the other, like what the commanded is versus what the actual is, then we got a fuel delivery issue. Not the case here. All 6 cylinders are firing right now. Everything's running the way it's supposed to, hence the nice smooth line. So let me shut this down and get reset up outside, and I'm gonna tell you what I think is the case. I'll be right back. Anyway, so here's what my synopsis is, and due to some of the research that I've done, this is what I think is going on. There's an effect called crosstalk, if you will. And basically what's happening is the computer is smart enough to realize any differences in the resistance across the coils. Obviously, if one's going bad, it's going to know which one it is based on the resistance. So now I'm taking 5 good ones and putting this 6th other one that has different resistance values, albeit not super far off, which still has me baffled. That's why it's just a theory. But I'm putting the 6th coil in that has resistances that are a little bit different than what the other 5 are showing, and it's causing the driver module for the coil packs to freak out, thus causing it to actually kill cylinders intermittently on the opposite bank. I did some reading on this, and it turns out this is, at least from what I can find, actually a thing. The recommendation obviously is to replace all 6 coils with the exact same model, brand, everything like that. Hence the reason when I put these original 6 in, they were working just fine. One of them starts going bad, you have to replace it with the same kind, which all this says is FOMOCO on it. Now, the other problem is the aftermarkets for these things generally are not that reliable. You're better off sticking with Ford OEM or Motorcraft for all of them. So that is the next path forward for this thing. Unfortunately, tonight I can't do anything more with it because I can't get 5 more known good Motorcraft coils tonight. But I can get them off of Amazon and hopefully have them delivered tomorrow. So that's where I'm going to leave off. The issue that we're having, we have a bad coil. We are putting in new coil that is not exactly the same as the coils we're taking out. It's causing crosstalk, freaking out the module. We saw it in the oscilloscope. I could feel it just running, like I said, just trying to accelerate it in neutral. It was, I mean, popping and farting and smelling of gas and burning up the already deteriorated catalytic converters on this thing. Don't want to do any more damage to it. So I'm going to go ahead and talk to the customer. I don't think he's going to have a problem with it, but I'm going to order 5 more of these Motorcraft known good coils. I'm going to ohm out every one of them, and then I'm going to put them all in. So I'll pick up the video again once I get those in, and we can go through this together and see what happens. But for right now, hang tight, and once I get those coils in, I'll come back to you guys. Stand by. All right, so here we are. We're logged back in. Engine's not running yet. We're going to get the oscilloscope started again. These first 6 lines are the cylinders, so that's what we're looking for, is some quirky stuff in there. Immediately off the get-go, that's normal for what it's doing, but it'll level out. AC just kicked in. Engine coolant temperature should be at temp. And let me see if I can change my resolution on this thing just a little bit so you can smooth the line out. There we go. So this is what we're looking at right here. So as I'm revving it, we don't see any big dips. And there's one little one right there, but when you saw in the previous part of the video, whenever it starts misfiring, that line will drop and stay, or it'll start doing this. So anyway, I'm gonna stall this up in gear, and there's the suspension, and it stays flat, no misfires at all. Suspension's kind of loud. And now we're doing a burnout in the driveway as my neighbor stands back here and watches. He doesn't know I'm filming, but there he is in the background. Anyway, so that's it. So it looks like there is some validity to having all of the same coil in there, and also buying Motorcraft or genuine Ford parts instead of some aftermarket ones that say Ford Motor Company. Now my neighbor's going to see if he can get his money back on those things because they failed so quickly, but as you can see, we are good and smooth. And so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up, put it all back together for him, and then I'll come back and we'll close this out and I'll give you my final thoughts. So stand by, I'll be right back. So there it is, folks. Finally, after weeks of troubleshooting that darn thing and being tossed in a number of different directions, from fuel delivery issues to vacuum leaks to spark issues, right? The 3 things that I've said, and everybody else who's ever worked on engines has always said required, that are required to make an engine run: air, fuel, and spark. Chasing all 3 of them. Normally, you can rule out air pretty quick, but maybe not. But when you're looking at live action data on the computer and watching the oscilloscope and watching all the pin IDs for the different sensors and everything, and you're getting conflicting numbers that pull you in certain directions, sometimes it can throw you off the path. And I would not have necessarily suspected the coil being a problem yet, just because, like I said, it would replace them a few months ago and they said FOMOCO on them. One thing I also was not expecting, that I've never had to deal with before, is that coil crosstalk. Doesn't mean that I didn't get plagued by it in the past at some point. Just means that I've never had to diagnose something like that. And I have used mixed coils in my applications way back in the past when I was working on vehicles doing that. I can think of my 99 Mustang as I referenced before as being one of them. But very interesting to use some of my knowledge from 20 years ago and then also still learn new stuff today for technology that I've been dealing with for over 20 years, right? And still 20 years later, the arc test seems to be the most consistent way to tell if you have a weak or failing coil. And again, that's that, when it's running, you pull that coil off the plug and you hear that pop, 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 pop. You should hear a pretty strict or stiff arc inside there if that coil's firing the way it's supposed to. But put it back together and got all 6 of the coils in there, and that thing runs its behind off again. How long it lasts, we'll see. But like I said, it's a 2012 model with 290, almost 296,000 miles on it, and it has been, knock on wood, has been very, very reliable for him. So it lives to see another day. He's happy with it, and we've revived or saved another one from going to the trade-in lot or going to the junkyard, for that matter, because I don't even know what those things are worth these days. But it's all part of DIY, people, like I've always said. So I'm still repping my purple and gold. Just shout out to my LSU Tigers. As Coach O would always say, go Tigers. So if you guys want to hear more of Coach O's impressions, or if you'd like me to do a video in Coach O's impression, I can certainly do that. You're likely not going to understand a darn word that I say, but I can certainly do a video. Maybe I'll do a short in Coach O's in Coach O's impressions. So anyway, this has been another DIY video from at DIY 1978 guy. If you haven't subscribed, I really appreciate it. Go ahead and check that notification bell. Hit the subscribe button. It's free. It helps me. If for no other reason, it boosts my ego that people are watching the videos and enjoying them. But I hope this video particularly helps a lot of people out there, because when I was searching for it, I didn't find a lot of concrete, good videos. Now, I didn't search the entire YouTube, but I didn't find a whole lot of good concrete videos that went into this level of depth when you're trying to troubleshoot coil unplug issues. So I hope you find it enjoyable. I hope you find it useful, and I hope you'll keep coming back for more. So this is at DIY 1978 guy saying peace.